Welcome to the channel. If you saw the last video about how to spend a week in Corfu, you may think that's all you can do, but this time we're going for another week in Corfu and we're going to discover some different places. We'll probably go to a couple of places that we went to before, but maybe we'll find some different things there, different things to do, different things to see. Let's discover this beautiful island for another week in Corfu. Here we are, back in Corfu, to show you how to spend another week in Corfu. Now I'm at La Grotta in Paleokastritsa, which normally is totally crowded with music booming out, but today it's very quiet. There's only us here. We're just here looking around and it's absolutely fabulous. Weather's brilliant and we're going to move on to go to the monastery now, so let's go. Last time I came up to the monastery. I'm near the monastery, but I've made a bit of an effort to go a bit further to a point of view where you can see this, and I'll go over to the other side now and we can have a look at the monastery. So over this side we can see the monastery perched on the rock there, and well, I might as well go and have another look. But what a fabulous viewpoint it is here. And later, I'm going to go up to there, right up to the top there. There is a bar with a glass floor that juts out with a view of all of this. So we've just come up from Paleokastritsa, where there's a few people around. It's at the season, so it's not that many. But when I was here last June, there was loads and loads of people on the beach, but hardly anybody up here. And we've just gone a little bit further up to the viewpoint over the monastery, and it really is worth doing. And what I would say is, do a couple of 100 meters away from the crowds and you'll find these amazing places. Well worth it. I see you've been in many films. And this is the view from the Achilleion Palace over to Corfu city on the Balkans in the distance. So this is a statue of dying Achilles, and there you can see the arrow in his heel. Achilles' heel. So the Achilleion Palace, although it looks that it's a classic Greek monument, whatever, was actually built at the end of the 1800s by Empress Elizabeth of Austro-Hungary. This was her favourite place to come for holidays. Very shortly after, it was then used by the Kaiser Wilhelm, and then they decided in Europe to start the First World War, which put everything into a shambles, and they basically messed everything up. And this is there. Now, what would I say about the Achilleion Palace? It's okay to visit. I've been to Corfu before and I've never been there. I came today. You pay €5 to go to see a crumbling, basically it's a bit of an ego boosting sort of folly. You can't go inside. Everything is cordoned off. There's tape everywhere, and so I'd say give it a miss, really. It's not really that great. It's nicely guarded, nice views, but that's about it. So in essence, what I would say is don't bother coming here. You can't see anything. There's scaffolding and tape off everywhere, and all of the statues, there's nothing written. Don't know who they are. I just guessed it was Achilles, but I would say give it a wide berth. It's not worth it. Today we're going to a place where we went last year. It's an abandoned monastery of the Blessed Virgin, and this time I'm going to try and find another place which is close to it, which is Cape Asphodistos or something like this, but I'll tell you the real name afterwards. Anyway, so off for a hike of a couple of kilometres up a bit of a hill, and we come to the sea eventually, and apparently there's a sign now, it says there's a beach. We'll see. Anyway, now on the way up to this monastery there's loads of olive groves. Now look at the size of this olive tree. But it's over 1,000 years old. I know some of the olive trees here were planted by the Venetians. Gives you sort of an idea of how old it is. These olive trees are absolutely huge. Again, in the tradition of strange Greek signs, in the middle of nowhere we've got a sign saying caution children crossing. Don't know whether this is wild children or tame children, but anyway, I'll watch out for these kids crossing. And I came here about a year ago, just over a year ago, and it was towards the end of the day, and this is what freaked me out a little bit, was this prohibited to get in the forest between 8 o'clock at night and 7 o'clock in the morning. I mean, what happens? Something happens there. But anyway, I didn't die, so let's hope that today, being as it's after 7 o'clock, I don't today. So let's go, let's continue up to the monastery of the Blessed Virgin Mary, which dates from 1700. The thing is about Greek is that we can't even guess what it says. You know, if it's written in Italian, Spanish, German, French, English or whatever, we could guess what it says, but Greek, it's all Greek to me. The road up to the monastery and to the cape is quite good. Okay, it's a bit up and down, but it's pretty good. And you see some people, they actually drive up there. I don't see the point when there's such a nice walk on this beautiful May day. No, it's not even May, it's the 30th of April. So it's really, really nice. It's about 21 degrees. But I know that in the car we had yesterday something like 32. So the trail up to the monastery is nice to walk on. Some people take the car up, don't see the point, but there you go. But if you've got any mobility problems, maybe it's a little bit difficult. And it's very quiet. That's nice, especially after Kavos. I mean, my guidebook describes Kavos as the last resort. Said it's the very last resort on the island, and it's very, very commercialised. And so he uses this play on words to say it's the last resort, in as much as it's at the bottom of the island, but it's the last place you really want to be. Sort of agree-ish. But this is beautiful. A little path off of the main path that I think goes to the cape, and we'll see. We'll follow it down. It's a bit smaller than the other one, but still doable. And we'll see what's at the end. And I think I know what's at the end. I think it's absolutely amazing. But let's wait and see. So obviously a lot of hunting goes on around here, because there are loads and loads of shotgun cartridges all around here. Could have picked them up, couldn't they? Anyway, too busy killing animals probably. There are a couple of signs on the way which help you, and some of them have got QR codes on them. So we know we're going to Asprokavos Cape. Let's keep going because it's getting a little bit narrower, a little bit more shady, but I don't think we've got to wait long to get to where we want to get to. And apparently there's a bench there. Oh, I can see a building here. What's this? Let's investigate. So we're coming to the end of Cape Asprokavos, and it says there that you can do Irish dancing on gravel. And here it is. Oh, wow. Here is Asprokavos Cape. And as you can see, there's absolutely no protection. There's a sheer drop there of God knows how many meters, and it's pretty dangerous. And in fact, that Irish dancing sign is actually means that the cliff breaks away, and I can believe it. I'm not going to go too close. This is as close as I'll get, but it's absolutely delightful. I'm going to go around to the other side, and this is the view from Asprokavos Cape. Wow, it's fabulous. Back down the path from the Cap Asprokavos to the monastery, the ruined monastery, but we'll just have a quick look at that because there's something that could be quite interesting there. And all along you have these fabulous views, but it looks a little bit dodgy because it's a straight drop down and there's nothing to protect you, just your common sense. Let's hope I've got some. And at the end of the track you arrive at this ruined monastery, which we came to last time, which which was just over a year ago. But there may be one little fun fact that I can share about this. Let's have a look. Monks were here from 1700 up until 1920 when they left. So it's just over 100 years ago, and it's fallen into a bit of rack and ruin, but it's still here. Can you imagine? I bet this path wasn't here. I bet they had to go right the way through the forest. And as you'll see with a lot of monasteries in Greece and especially, well, in Corfu as well, a lot of the monasteries are built right at the end of civilization, if you like. This is the southernmost part of Corfu, and you'll see some in other places. They're right out of the way. Very, very difficult to get to. They just want some peace and quiet. And why not? Who can blame them? Somebody's just put a bit of wood with a bit of string here just to stop people from going too close to the edge, because afterwards there is just a drop right the way down. Look at that beautiful, beautiful, clear azure water. Turquoise maybe, I don't know, but it's absolutely gorgeous. It's fabulous. I'll tell you, spend an hour up here, it's like spending a day at the psychologist's. Does your head good. Fabulous. As you can see, most of the places it's a track and it just ends up straight down. Boom. So just be careful. And there's lots of these things are everywhere in Cyprus, in Corfu, and in Cyprus as well. But these things where they have candles, and sometimes you see money in them and all sorts of stuff like this. And then over here you've got a little place. I don't know what it is, but there's some icons. There's like a goblet of sorts, and it has a clock, and it's not the right time. But you have this stuff everywhere. This is just a little cave type thing. Very, very religious country. Orthodox. And in fact, we're tomorrow's the 1st of May. On the weekend, it's Easter, the Orthodox Easter. So the 5th of May is Easter Saturday. Hopefully we're going to see something pretty amazing and traditional in Corfu City on that day. Stay tuned. You could sort of imagine going into this place in its day. I wouldn't imagine they'd have too many visitors. You can just go through up the steps and through the building, and there it is. It has some sort of eerie feeling about it, but like an eerie peacefulness. So this is supposed to be the seal or the coat of arms of the Quartanos family, which is a very famous old family in Corfu, and it's supposed to be a hand holding some grapes, a pomegranate, and an ear of corn. I can't see it. All I can see is at the bottom it looks like, well, it looks to me like some grapes, with a wild boar on top of it, some sort of devil's head, maybe a sheep or something like that on top, and something else, I don't know. Or maybe I'm not looking in the right place, but I never heard about this, but this is Benitses, and it's at the back of the village. There's a little sign, and these are the Roman baths. There you go. I've not seen it in any guidebook or anything. So is that a discovery or what? Dates from the 8th century. This is the view from the best cafe. It's along the road to Benitses. And this is the view from the little garden. And the coffee's good as well, huh? And this is Bucharest. We'll go to a restaurant, probably just have an aperitif with some little meze type stuff, but we'll see. A little restaurant just over there, we'll try it. And that over there, that you can see, is Albania. This looks absolutely fabulous, those mountains. These are the pots that for Easter, on Easter Saturday, they fill them with water and they throw them from the balconies. Hopefully we're going to see that in a minute. They're everywhere for sale here. So this is Easter Saturday in Corfu city, and where you can see these flags, I think it's where they're going to be throwing the pots out. Bully death. We'll see. But there's loads and loads of people.
They kick people out of bars.
So it looks like the first one's going to be thrown by the mayor.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Oh, the rain.
Heads up.
And these are the pots that get smashed today on Easter Saturday. If you want a really good meal in Corfu town, this is the place to go. Taverna o Nino. It's hidden away in a little street. The seating's a little bit sketchy. It's boiling hot inside, but it's absolutely excellent, dirt cheap and really good. So this is Dacia Beach, which is a little bit sort of Club Medi at the moment. It's a bit closed, but there's all sorts of complexes here with swimming pools and sun loungers around beach bars and all this type of thing. So it's a little bit more commercial than some of the places we've been to. However, the scenery is lovely. Corfu. We've had rain today. Absolutely threw it down when we left. It said it was going to be bright sunshine, and now the sunshine's coming out and it's really hot. So the clouds are going to clear and it's going to be beautiful. We're going to go for a walk later to an abandoned village. And this is a totally deserted Gardenos beach. It's a sandy beach. Today the Mediterranean's looking a little bit like the Atlantic, but it's absolutely gorgeous. Not a soul on here. It's very warm, and I came here last year, just over a year ago, and it was exactly the same. I don't think this place gets very full, which is absolutely brilliant. It's a secret place. Shh. So this is the Meltemi beach bar in Gardenos Beach. It is such a cool place. The people are absolutely lovely. The food is good and it's very reasonable. And the view that you have is totally amazing. And there's more over there of it. Really good. Highly recommended. As you can see, the view is right onto the sea. The beach is just down below, and over here you have the restaurant. They serve simple food, Greek food, but very, very good and very, very reasonable. And the beer is fabulous. Greek beer is great. So there you go, the Meltemi Beach Bar. Give it a go. As I said, the people are really lovely here as well. This place is called the Golden View Cafe. I'll just show you why it's called the Golden View Cafe. It's in the middle of nowhere, near a place called Anu Garona. This is Ipsos Bay. We just stopped off here for a quick coffee on our way up to Nisaki and an abandoned village. And this is Corisia freshwater lake, which apparently down there's some pelicans and flamingos. We're going to go along the top there, which is a little tiny strip of land between the sea and the lake. So if you're looking to get away from the crowds on Corfu and you're looking for a big beach, sandy, This is Halikunas beach. It's just by the saltwater lake, freshwater lake it is, sorry. Yeah, which you'll see on this video as well. But that's one way on the beach down there. Very, very few people. And it goes for, I think it's nearly 3 kilometers long. And then the other side, let's go there. And this is the other side of the beach. As you can see, there's a couple of people up there. Not that many. And apparently it's very good for the sunset here as well. It's a good place to be for the sunset. So this is called Logas Beach, which is also known as Logas Sunset Beach, which is apparently the best place to do sunset pictures on Corfu. If you're coming to this sunset beach, be really careful because it's such a dodgy way down and virtually all of the planks are broken, so you really take your life in your own hands. Just be careful, kids. This is the planking down to the sunset beach, and I kid you not, it is mega dodgy, so just be careful if you come down here. I think that in the distance is Paleokastritsa, which is the abandoned village. I can't see any way to get down to it. There's a path here, but the other side there's a path and it's got a cross on it which says that it's not being used anymore. And plus there's big bank of low cloud coming in, so I'm not really sure whether we'll be able to get down in time or even to see anything when we are there. This is the monastery on Pankratore. The plan was to go to an abandoned village which is down there, and as you can see it's in low cloud. I don't really fancy getting lost on a mountain top in Corfu, so I'll have to abandon it for this time. This is the view from the top, or near the top, of Paleokastritsa, which is the highest mountain on Corfu. And after the rain, it's turned out nice again. Well, there's loads and loads of fish, and when there are small fish, there are little fish, and there are big fish. So if you want to come to this lush monastery, the best place to park is on the other side, not on Kanoni, on the other side. I'll put it on the video where to park, because you miss all the traffic. You just have this little causeway to cross. There, over there is the abbey, but it's a monastery rather, and we're going to have a look at it in a second. And here is the famous Lush Abbey in Kanoni, which is just near Corfu city in Corfu. And over there as we saw earlier, is Mouse Island, which we may go on a boat and see in a second. Right, now we're going to go up to the 11th century church on Mouse Island. So this is the 11th century monastery on Mouse Island. So this is Mouse Island, where the old Corfians, who were called Phaeacians, helped Odysseus, which is Ulysses, return home to Ithaca, transferring one of their boats. The gods became displeased by this and transformed his ship into stone even before the sailors could disembark. And that is Mouse Island. Now, that is legend, mythology, but who knows? It's a lovely place to be anyway. This is the view from Mouse Island. It's well worth coming actually for the view and for the little tiny boat trip. It costs €3 from Vlacherna in the port near Kanoni. Well, it's worth coming across. It's really quiet. There's only a monastery here, and there's a little cafe and a souvenir shop, which is probably well overpriced, but it's a lovely little view. It's a great place. This is what they call Mouse Island, where we were just a minute ago. Just a short little boat trip. This is a place for ducks to sleep on Vlacherna, and why not?
Yep.
The rest of them are.
That's Vlacherna, and over here is a little causeway. Like I said, we parked on the other side, so towards the left, which avoids all the traffic, and also the parking in Kanoni, which is not quite difficult because coaches park there. And you see these people waiting on the causeway. They're waiting to take a video or photo of aeroplanes as they land, because they land just the other side. Climbing these steps from Vlacherna up to Kanoni for the view of Vlacherna, which we'll see in a couple of seconds.